The Candle and the Firefly. This tale begins in a small cottage nestled at the edge of an ancient forest. Within this humble abode there stood a solitary candle on a wooden table. It was an ordinary candle made of creamy wax and standing tall in its brass holder, yet it had a secret longing, a wish that kept its flickering flame alive night after night. The candle wanted to shine, not just for the brief moments it could muster, but endlessly, like the moon and stars that blanketed the sky. Once in a small cottage nestled at the edge of an ancient forest, there stood a solitary candle on a wooden table. It was an ordinary candle made of creamy wax and standing tall in its brass holder. Yet it had a secret longing, a wish that kept its flickering flame alive night after night. The candle wanted to shine, not just for the brief moments it could muster, but endlessly, like the moon and stars that blanketed the sky. Each evening, the candle's owner would light its wick, and it would burn with fierce determination, casting its warm glow across the room. But this effort came at a cost. The candle burned too brightly, too quickly, and by midnight its flame would sputter and die, leaving behind a pool of melted wax. It felt exhausted, spent, and defeated. No matter how hard it tried, its light never seemed to last. One evening, after a particularly lonely day, the candle gazed out through the window. Beyond the cottage, the forest hummed with life, its shadows alive with the quiet murmur of crickets and the rustle of leaves. Among the trees, tiny lights flickered, fireflies glowing softly as they danced through the night. The candle watched in awe. Their lights were gentle, steady, and seemingly endless. How could such small creatures carry so much light without burning out? A firefly landed on the windowsill, its tiny body pulsing with a golden glow. The candle admired the little creature from afar, feeling both admiration and envy. Its own flame felt clumsy in comparison, too hot, too fleeting. As the firefly sat there, its light pulsing gently, the candle noticed something extraordinary. Unlike its own flame, the firefly's glow did not come from burning. It came from within, a light that didn't consume but simply existed. Night after night, the same firefly returned, perching on the windowsill. It never spoke, yet its presence filled the room with a quiet message. The candle began to sense that the firefly was trying to teach it something. But what? At first, the candle tried to imitate the firefly's gentle light. It dimmed its flame, shrinking it down until it was just a faint flicker. But this left the room in shadows, and the candle felt as though it had failed in its purpose. Frustrated, it tried the opposite, burning brighter than ever, determined to match the brilliance of the stars. But the wax melted faster than before, and the flame sputtered out even sooner. The firefly continued its silent visits, never judging, never hurrying. It hovered close to the candle's flame, its tiny glow steady and serene. The candle began to observe more closely, watching the rhythm of the firefly's light, how it brightened and softened, a pulse that seemed to flow with the very heartbeat of the night. The firefly didn't fight the darkness, it moved with it, embracing the shadows as much as the light. One evening, a gentle rain began to fall, pattering against the window. The firefly perched on the edge of the glass, its glow faint but unwavering. The candle, inspired by its companion's persistence, tried something new. Instead of forcing its flame to burn brighter or dimmer, it simply let it be. It allowed its wick to settle into a soft, even glow, neither straining nor shrinking. To the candle's surprise, its light began to feel different, less like a struggle and more like a song. It no longer burned with desperation, but with a quiet strength. The flame danced in harmony with the rain, its golden light reflected in the droplets clinging to the window pane. The firefly seemed pleased, its glow pulsing in time with the candle's steady flame. Together they filled the cottage with a warm, gentle light that neither overwhelmed nor faltered. The candle realized that it had been trying too hard, pouring all its energy into burning brightly without pause. But light, it now understood, was not about battling the darkness. It was about balance, knowing when to shine brightly and when to rest, letting the flame grow and ebb like the tides. As the days turned into weeks, the candle grew stronger. It learned to conserve its wax, burning steadily and evenly. Its light now lasted long into the night, illuminating the cottage with a comforting glow. The firefly, too, became a constant presence, flitting around the room and landing on the candle's holder as if to keep it company. One fateful night, a fierce storm rolled in from the mountains. The wind howled, rattling the windows, and rain lashed against the cottage walls. Inside, the candle's flame flickered wildly, struggling against the gusts that seeped through the cracks. The firefly, caught in the storm, was thrown against the window, its glow nearly extinguished. The candle knew it had to act. Drawing on everything it had learned, it steadied its flame, allowing it to burn just bright enough to guide the firefly. Its light pierced the darkness, a beacon that shone through the chaos. The firefly, its strength renewed by the candle's unwavering glow, fluttered to safety, landing softly on the table. As the storm passed, the firefly rested beside the candle, its tiny body glowing faintly. The candle's flame, though weary, continued to burn with a steady light, casting warmth over its companion. Together they had weathered the storm, their bond stronger than ever. From that night on, the candle and the firefly became inseparable. The candle burned with a soft, enduring flame, while the firefly's glow danced around it like a living star. In their quiet companionship, they found a balance, a reminder that light is not about burning as brightly as possible, but about enduring, glowing steadily, and sharing warmth with the world. Their light filled the cottage and spilled into the forest, a gentle radiance that touched all who saw it. The trees seemed to whisper their gratitude, and the stars above twinkled in approval. Together, the candle and the firefly became a symbol of harmony, teaching anyone who watched them that true brilliance comes not from burning out, but from finding the grace to shine steadily and endlessly. And so the candle and the firefly lit the nights together, their lights a quiet melody in the vast symphony of the world.